Alright, so this is gonna be take 1 of my Boogey % kind of strategy guide. It's not really a tutorial, like I'm trying not to fucking like be like, this is the tutorial, because I'm the only one who knows anything about anything. This is more of a like a me thing, like specific to me. These are the strategies that I like to do when I do Boogey %. And it's basically advice that I want to give to new Boogey % runners or anybody who maybe hasn't done it in a while and needs a refresher. Advice I want to give them without like telling it to them directly, because I don't want to sound like an asshole when I tell people, hey, you should probably do this. I'd rather do it indirectly than directly. You know what I'm saying? So oh shit. I'm gonna go ahead and name all of our things. These are the names that I gave in my Boogey % PB that I literally just got. If you look at my splits, I got a 105.31. That's the second fastest time on record. Actually, I think James might have very recently gotten another time that was like almost as fast as his own. It might be the third fastest time on record, but it'll be the second on the boards once I upload the VOD, because my internet went down midstream, but whatever, none of that matters. So for Boogey %, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of new people don't understand about speedrunning EarthBound, and that's not a bad thing. Definitely not a bad thing. But I do want every single entrant in the EarthBound Super Series to have an equal shot. So I want them all to be equally accessible to, or well, I want all the information that every runner has to be equally accessible to every runner, is what I'm trying to say. So to answer all kinds of questions as far as like, man, how do people get such fast times so consistently? Like, well, it's not just, you know, getting godlike luck. Runners like me who aren't godlike in every single way ever. What's up, Skate Man? We have to take shortcuts. We gotta do things that are kind of unorthodox, out of the ordinary, to try and compensate for our lack of godliness. So, in before teaching people to play Ant Risky. No, I actually, in my Boogey % PB that I just got, I sacrificed a 21 Ant because I was playing it safe. Like, you will watch the VOD and you will be proud of me, Skate. Okay, so I'm not actually like trying to go fast here, but I need to actually like go over everything. But I'm timing just to like show you what my splits are, everything. But yeah, Skate's really happy. But yeah, I did play Ant safe, and it worked out. Okay, so as soon as you wake up, you're gonna be like right here, and then you're just gonna hold straight left. I'll give you the short spiel, but basically, like, whatever. Skate knows what's coming. But to get from point A right here to point B right here, it's going to be fastest to move straight left. Like, doing any amount of extra diagonal movement will slow you down, because the short reason is because it's slower, and shut up. But the long reason is a very long, detailed reason, and feel free to ask me more questions about it, because I will go on the long spiel. New concept, walk left. But yeah, cardinal movement is always faster if that's what's optimal to get to your destination, just as a generality. But very specific movement stuff like this is gonna be like probably some of the least important stuff that I'm telling you. It's just that, like, if you want to know how, you know, we save as many frames as possible or as many seconds as possible, we're gonna be taking a lot of very specific movements. Like, for example, the very first thing that I see that differentiates between an experienced runner and a new runner is the way that they enter this door right here. So people are gonna walk straight left, and then they're gonna be like, all right, cool, now we go inside. That's a little bit slow, and that usually means that they're going to be taking movements like that in general all over the game. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to figure out the timing. And like I said, this isn't nearly as important as I'm making it out to be, but you're going to want to figure out the timing to cut that diagonal and hit the door trigger. It saves more time than you think, especially when you apply that idea, that new concept, all over the run. So you're going to, like I said, just cut that straight left because that's what's optimal, and then boom, diagonal to save the right angle. The right angle is going to be slower than taking the diagonal, obviously, because Pythagorean theorem and all that shit. So the first big thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to equip the cracked bat. The fastest way to grab it is to go like this and try and reach it from as far away as possible, like that. But that's not nearly as important. What you can do, just to make sure that you get it, is to just walk straight left. And here, I should point out that when you enter, if you hold straight left here, you're going to go above the table, and you don't want that. You're going to want to hold left and then press down for like one barely, like not one frame, it doesn't really matter. But as long as you move any amount down, you will go below the table. And once you're below the table, you can hold straight left and then kind of check the present like this from underneath. So now you have the bat. And then you're going to want to open the menu, go to equip, mash A until you equip it, and then hit B twice to cancel. Menuing like that, knowing exactly what you're going to be doing preemptively for menuing is going to be key as well. But that's, like I said, most of the minor time saves that are going to take place between here and when spawns first start happening outside, that's all going to be very, very minor stuff that doesn't matter all that much if you're like really new. But if you're trying to grind your time down, that's going to be stuff that you want to like at least think about. But at the very least, what I'm trying to do here is answer the question of how we get such good times consistently. All right, so when you go downstairs here, if you hold straight right, you're gonna go behind the table, and you don't want that. Like, I guess you could do it, but it's not really like you have to like, because you get stuck right here. You're gonna hit upright and then go behind the table, and then you're gonna bump into the dog anyway. So what you're gonna want to do is, as soon as you come downstairs, just like in the cracked bat room, you're gonna hold straight right and then hit down, like just barely, and then you're gonna glide off of the bottom of the chair, and then you're gonna hit up just for that fraction of an amount so that you hit the door. Easy peasy. But here, you're not always so lucky. Sometimes mom will get right in your way. Apparently, I'm like super godlike, and mom just wants to stay away from me because she's like, I have a horrible son and I don't want to be near him. But you are going to want to watch the screen anywhere in the run where there are NPCs that can move, because they will, if they have an opportunity to cock block you like this, they will. And then once you get caught against them, and there are NPCs that are more likely to do this than others, but once you get caught against them, you're going to be like, oh god, what do I do? And then try and get away, and then it takes forever. So you're going to definitely want to pay attention to the screen to make sure you don't lose that time by bumping into them. Okay, so now we're outside, and the key out here is to just make as tight of a movement as possible, because you're gonna see a lot of new runners like you know, go up here and around here. And I actually saw, I'm not gonna name any names, of course, but I feel like a few people think that this is grid-based movement, and they go like this. And I don't know if that's a response to cardinal movement supposedly being faster, or if that's just something that somebody's going into the game just not really understanding. But you are going to want to take diagonals only whenever it's optimal. Just to kind of like make sure that you have tight movement along walls, because if you're taking long, wide angles, like around this corner, if you're going way around up here, that's going to take a lot longer than just kind of bumping off the edge of the tree, bumping off this edge here, and then you're already here, you know? Just stuff like that. And it's stuff that you figure out with more and more runs, trying to figure out how to save movement, save time with tight movement. But there are a ton of ways that you can approach Pokey here. I don't know if I despawn him if his movement cycle starts over. No, it doesn't. But the first time that you approach Pokey, he's always going to be in the same spot, and he's gonna be about to move left. So if you want to try saving frames, you can kind of catch him like this, and he'll be like just to the right of you, and you can talk to him here. But if you want to be safe and make sure you don't talk to this cop right here, you can approach him from underneath and talk to him like that. I can't really show that now because I already wasted my opportunity, but you're gonna want to talk to him and then just head back to the house. Making sure that you take as tight of movements as you can, and you don't get too concerned because like you can very easily get caught on bushes. I'm trying to do it on purpose, but I can't really force it. But yeah, just stuff like that, like right here. Oh no, I got caught. Like sometimes that happens if you try to take tight movement. It's not a huge deal at all. But I would say that you would rather get caught on something for like a split second and then catch it and then fix it than take really long, wide turns around corners, because that takes forever. And then you can talk to mom from a considerable distance away, but just for safety, you can always get closer. No big deal. And for a preemptive yes selection in the dialog box, you're going to want to mash A and L back and forth like this. That way you'll always select yes. There are 4 buttons that you can use to mash: A, B, L, and select. In general, like if I were to talk to this person right here, I would just mash L, A, and B. That's my preferred mashing method. But in the case of dialogue options that you know are coming up, you're going to want to either mash A and L, knowing that you're going to pick yes, or mash B and select, knowing that you're going to pick no. And the thing about mashing B and select is, obviously, trying to do 2 thumbs like this is going to wear on you. So what you're going to want to do is have your thumbs placed on top of the buttons and kind of just vibrate your forearm like this. That is much faster than this. Like, you can already see the difference. And that's how a lot of us mash really quickly. But my favorite mashing method is L, A, and B, like I said. So I can mash the fuck out of L with my index finger, and then I can alternate these two because my right hand is much stronger than my left hand. So I've got 3 buttons happening. I could go all 4 if I wanted to, I guess. But I feel like that slows me down. But yeah, just like before. Actually, I wonder if it'll reset mom's position. But you're going to want to move down just for 1, and then kind of make your way underneath her, and then come back up here. Mom is going to be a lot further to the left than I just demonstrated. I should have done this as if we were actually speedrunning. Yeah, I know this manip, right? Yeah, starting about here, you're going to want to switch to A and L, because you know that this yes is coming up. But if you want to be safer, you just mash A and L the whole time. And then from here, you're going to want to watch where mom moves to, because she can move in any direction she wants. So you're just going to want to get to her as quick as you can. There's no dialogue option here, so I'm mashing L, A, and B. And you just hold straight left to get downstairs. Just like before. Well, in this case, they're in the way, but talking to Pokey right here from the center. I wasn't perfectly in center, but whatever. That's going to be the fastest way for him to join you, because he has to walk the least distance into you. And then from here, you're going to want to hit the door, and then just kind of make your way this way to the phone. I'm going to showcase behind the couch too, for those of you who don't. For those of you who are surprised that I'm not doing that. What most people do is go below the couch because it's the most consistent or whatever. So there we go. But what I like to do is as soon as the phone rings, I just cut it like this, and then talk to the phone. Oh, whoops! Talk to the phone as far to the right as possible, like right here, or like right here. Because if you talk to the phone further to the right, you have to walk less to get back outside. But the whole thing with behind the couch is that the timing you have to practice. Like sometimes you'll nail it, like I just did there, and you'll make it, and other times you'll get stuck. And it's just something you gotta practice. But like I said, if you want to be safe, if you want to be consistent, do it like this. And in glitchless runs, because we do RNG manip, Or at least I do. Whatever. I go right here because you have to go in front to get to the phone, but I go behind the couch from there. It's just a thing that you can do. But yeah, those are all the minor optimizations I can think of that make the difference between like a 424, 425 house leave and like a 418. It's just saving stuff like that. It's really important. All right, so now we're outside. Anything can appear in this entire area, and there are lots of possibilities, and I probably won't be able to go over them all. But the big thing you want to be aware of first is if there's a dog like right here. If there's a dog like right here, you're gonna want to book it back inside. Do not take the fight. You would much rather take the time it takes to reset the area outside than take an encounter that's right here. These snakes are in an interesting position. You could be ballsy and go for the stutter step, and depending on how good you are at stutter stepping, it'll probably work. But if your stutter is kind of down and you're not feeling it, or you're not very skilled at it, it just takes practice to stutter step. That's really all I can tell you. It's just mash the button. You know? And there's a very real technique to stuttering, and it takes a lot of practice. But sometimes you can like use the bush like that to get the snake caught on it. And it's just like, it's very key to like learn to use the environment to your advantage. In areas like this where anything can spawn anywhere. And it's really hard to explain this whole crow thing too, because a lot of people get very confused, including me when I started out. See, like, how was I supposed to know that he'd come back left? Yo, what's up, B? So if you get into a fight with a crow, you're just gonna want to auto it out. And just kind of hope that you don't die. Crows have extremely high speed, so it's going to be impossible for you to run away. I'll go ahead and eat this, I guess. I'm just kind of screwing around at this point. Yeah, in this little corner here will almost always have a spawn. Yeah, that's a way that you can take advantage of the crow's swiggly movement. You can sometimes get around it, sometimes you can't, and I'm screwing up bad. I might die actually. Oh, what I'm doing here, actually, the best way to save time that we found not that long ago, to save time in fights where you just want to bash, you're gonna want to select auto fight and mash A and select. Just like I showed you with the B and select mash earlier, you're gonna want to do A and select in the same manner. Because select, despite popular belief, doesn't actually cancel auto fight. So you can mash A and select as fast as you want while auto fighting, and auto will not cancel. Yo, thank you, B. I appreciate that. It was a few days ago, but it felt really good to get that win. Okay, I didn't ask to be this lucky with spawns. But yeah, almost everywhere in this area something can get you, and it'll be either a snake, a crow, or a dog. And the key is just kind of knowing how to get away from them. Like that guy's stuck back there. He's fine. You can stutter past this guy if you want. I'm trying not to get so lucky though. I'm trying to like show you more possibilities. I'm not trying to get into a snake fight. Yeah, dogs like that, you just gotta, because they will just book it straight for you. You just want to immediately turn around upon seeing it. Like if you're coming left here and then you see a dog, just turn the hell around. Whoa, that was close. Ah! Okay, we got that dog caught on the bush. See, so it's like trying to figure out how to use the environment to your advantage. And instead of despawning this dog, you can actually take it like this and go around that way. That's a very big thing that I like to take advantage of. Sometimes a snake will spawn up here, so don't think you're done as soon as you get to this area. Just things like that and such. I don't know if I explained a lot of that very well, but I think you get the idea. Just kind of like, if you take a fight, it's cool, but there are ways other than just despawning and stuttering to get out of fights. What is a Boogey strategy run? I'm just trying to do like a kind of tutorial thing to showcase like my specific strategies to me. Sarium, thank you for the host. But yeah, see, people don't know that select doesn't cancel auto fight because that's like a recent discovery. But yeah, you can mash A and select to save as much time as possible. Oh, swag bolts. Swag bolts. But yeah, since I know that the dialogue option is forever away, I'm gonna try and save as much time as I can by mashing in my optimal way. And then once I see, what is it? You have much work to do. Did you listen to what I told you? I let go of B. Like, I physically move my finger away from the B button so that I don't hit it. And one thing I like to do when mashing is, if I have the dialogue memorized, which I have almost every line of dialogue memorized, not like to the word, but like to the essence of it, I will stop mashing on the last line and then press the button as soon as I know the text is over, so I can close the text box as soon as possible and make sure that I don't overmash, because overmashing is a very big problem. Like, you'll be mashing text and then all of a sudden, that menu's open, oh, close it, and that is time loss. So I always get the bread roll after I've dealt with the hill and everything, because spawns are off now, and crows won't steal the bread roll from me. And I've seen people not go for the bread roll. I would highly, highly advise against that. You need that healing. You will probably need that healing, especially in a race setting. Like, I understand if for whatever reason you're grinding for a Boogey PB, which that's cool and everything, but even then, if you're grinding for a Boogey PB, you should be taking race strats. Oh yeah, Erythium, sure, yeah. Like, when you're mashing text, what you're looking for is, it's actually, I think the frame, or 2 frames before the triangle appears that you can like advance the dialogue. So like, I can't really time it with this, because I normally just mash it out. But that's kind of the general feeling for it. So I try to time my button press as soon as the triangle would appear, because I don't want to do it too early, you know? But yeah, okay, so for Starman Jr., this is taking fucking forever. I didn't think this would take as long as it would. Yeah, you just want to do auto fight. Oh, whoops. And then mash A and select. And mashing this fight can get pretty tiring. So definitely take a break as soon as Starman does fire. During the animation, just let go and take a quick breather. Let go for a second. Now my hands feel better and I can mash some more. Shield is going. I can take a break. Mash some more. You will save a lot of energy this way. It really makes a world of difference. Freeze takes a second to happen. Stuff like that. This is going to be a very crappy Starman fight. There's nothing you can do to control the outcome here. Just take that break. You will feel a hell of a lot better. Just take that break. And mashing A and select like this, vibrating your forearm, is the fastest way you're going to mash through this fight. There we go. This is the worst Starman split of my life, but that's fine. But yeah, that's the idea behind this whole thing, Erythium. I'm trying to like give people some insight as far as like what I've done to optimize my speedrun, because I feel like a lot of stuff that I do in order to like compensate for not having godlike RNG all the time would help a lot of new runners. Yeah, you're just gonna want to talk to Lucius here from as far to the right as possible so that you walk the least amount of distance. Instead of taking a right angle up to him, you're gonna want to take that diagonal, just like I mentioned at the beginning with the door to the cracked bat. From here, you have no idea which direction Lardna's gonna go, so it's not your fault if you guess wrong. But I usually hold straight right, and if she doesn't move, I just go down. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that, it just comes with experience. But I'm gonna go over a lot of very specific menuing stuff that I do, because I feel like it would help people to at least be able to think about it. So I'm mashing B and select right now because of the no. You want to hit yes and then no here, because it's a huge time loss if you mess it up, and I have messed it up before. So now we have the sound stone, we're just gonna make our way out of here. And then pay close attention to my pathing, because like I always say, it's important to have very specific movement. Thank you, James, for the host. Holy snap. But yeah, be watchful for enemies here. All 3 of the Onet enemies can spawn. I'm gonna stutter around the snake, get it caught on the tree, and then just get a move on. I want to make our way over here. Take our movement as tight as possible. Oh, that's an auto host. I wonder if that was intentional. I wonder if internet's an issue. I never know anymore with auto hosts. So I didn't mean to open the menu there. What I meant to do was talk to this kid and then immediately leave. And then while I'm holding down, I hit A to open the menu, equip the baseball cap, not the crack bat. And that's how I do that. Equipping the baseball cap is going to be slightly faster. I always take this trash can from underneath, and then I hold straight left and then diagonal into the door here. Then I diagonal up here to the ATM machine. Make sure you take out $40 and not 30, because I keep making that mistake because of new manip strats. Talk to this guy from below, and then you're going to want to make sure that you don't select the cracked bat, because that's a big mistake. I do it outside because it feels more comfortable to me. Like, you talk to the kid, get all that stuff out of the way, leave, and then while you're holding down, if you open a menu while you're holding down, or while you're holding a direction, like while you're moving, it's optimal, it saves a few frames. So, T-ball bat first. There's a very specific order to do this. Sell the crack bat by mashing A-no. I'm just mashing A-no the whole time for this, by the way. Baseball cap next. Sells the baseball cap automatically. Buy the cheap bracelet, and now you have all 3 of the things you need. Mash B there, head outside. So this is very important. This movement is very, very important, and I see people forget to do this or just straight up not do it at all because they don't know that you can. Hold straight left coming out of here, and then as soon as you will diagonally line up with this line in the road, and I did it a little late there, but it's because I'm stopping in my tracks and all that. Bam. Hold this. And then as soon as the road turns, straight down. And then as soon as you hit this grass patch, down right. This is how you despawn the sharks. Almost every single time. See? Nothing here. Get the can of fruit juice. This is optional, but I like to use it. It's kind of like a, let's see where I use the can of fruit juice this time strategy. So now we're gonna fight this guy. I'm gonna auto fight you. He goes down in 3 hits generally, but if you have high enough offense, he'll go down in 2. Or the 3rd turn smash. But yeah, that fight, a few different things that didn't happen I need to explain, because especially if you don't take any fights on the hill, which I did. I took a couple, so I leveled up, which that made this fight safer for sure. But if you have a really good hill and you don't fight anything extra, you're only going to be level 2 here, and you're going to have like 31 HP-ish, something like that. And what you're going to want to do is, if the Pokepunk charges forward at you and does like his 10 to 12 damage move first turn, you're going to want to cancel auto fight by holding B and mashing A and O. And then, or maybe you just bashed him so you didn't auto fight at all. It depends on whatever you do there. Use the bread roll immediately. Because he will charge forward at you a second time, probably. Oh, I need to get inside. If he does charge forward at you a second time after doing it the first time, and you haven't already healed, that could and will probably be very lethal. So It's a good safe strat to just use your roll there. But since I didn't use that there, I'll just use it here. I forgot I had a cookie. I'll take advantage of that as well, I guess. No, I won't. I'll pretend I didn't get it. Yeah, now I'm at max. I'm gonna fight this guy. Yeah, that's basically what you want to see. One very minor optimization that I'm gonna go over in this next fight. Blink and you'll miss it, but got the diagonal here, mash no. Instead of bashing by mashing A and L like this, left A. That's almost always infinitely faster than the beep beep that you'll hear when trying to bash. That's why you almost always see me auto fighting, because that's how I save frames that way. Alright, so what we're gonna want to do, 37 plus 6 is 43, so we're gonna want to use a life up. We want to be in max HP. Max is key. One thing I will say about my race opponent the other day, he went into Frank not at max HP, and I have no idea why. He played Oned very risky, and I want to say that that's a very big reason why he lost. You need to play Oned like you're trying to, like you're at a marathon basically. You don't want to die, because if you do, you will probably lose. If you die a bajillion times, you will probably lose. So max HP, very important. Alright, let's go up to Frank. Talk to him. And this is how I play Frank. You don't have to do the left auto thing, but I will. Actually, you know what? I won't. Just for the sake of this, I'll just bash him. Alright, so the brandish. Every single time that Frank hits you, you life up. Because the next hit could very well kill you. Okay, so we lifed up, bash him again. We don't have to wait for our HP to scroll all the way back up. But sometimes it's nice to do that. Alright, so now that we're out of life ups, if he hits me again, which he did just now, you're gonna want to use a burger. And this is actually very dangerous, because since we're at 22 HP, he might kill me anyway. So I'm gonna mash my heart out. Alright. Thank God he didn't do a brandish. I think 23 is like the safe zone. 23 is the safe zone, but if you're like a little bit slower at mashing, it'll be 24. But if you're at 23 or 24 HP and you queue up a heal and he does a brandish, you need to be mashing like crazy, you know, so that he doesn't kill you. Frank usually goes down in about 5 hits, but that smash really helped. So that's good stuff. So if you fight that optional Pogopunk outside, the mandatory Pogopunk inside, and the Yes Man Jr., you will always level up after beating Frank, and you will always get your psychic point count will always round up to the next multiple of 5. So I will always have 5 psychic points after beating Frank. So my strategy here for this fight, since I'm at 49 HP, I'm just gonna go ahead and bash here. He always does Burst of Steam on the first turn, and second turn he's gonna do a weak attack. So I know that I'll be at about 30. So if he tears into me here, I will probably die. So I'm gonna bash here, since he's gonna do Burst of Steam. And there's a 50-50 chance that he will do tear into me. So in case he does, I do a life up. And now I should be good to auto fight and win. But if he tears into me again, I'll cancel. So cancel auto here, mash A&L. Bash one more time, Burst of Steam, and then hamburger. I'm getting pretty lucky though. But now I should definitely be good to auto fight and win. Here we go. So this is pivotal. After I get through this text, you need to make sure that you pay attention to this. This is very important. I missed that timing, but you get what I mean. Go inside and go back outside. Take the heal every time. Every single time, take it. This is very important. Take it. Take the heal every time. Unless you somehow smashed every single turn, like maybe I would say don't take the heal, but you definitely need to take it every time. Go into the town hall. You can hold straight right here and then press down for a very small split second to get by that desk and then talk to him from as far to the left as possible. Mash A and L for the yes dialogue. What I like to do from here, if this guy would move out of the way, hold straight left, bounce into the couch, and then hold left again. If that makes sense. You can figure it out if you practice it. But that's usually the fastest way to get out of there. You just hold straight right. This movement sucks, and you have to practice it if you're doing RNG minute, but it's not a huge deal if you mess it up here. But what I like to do is I hold straight down, and then once I'm at about here, I think. No, a little bit lower than that, like about here. I can hold straight right so that I get here. And then as soon as I'm like here-ish, I do a quick down right swivel with the D-pad. So let me try that again. Get outside here, hold down, straight right, down right swivel. That's how I like to time it. And the timing will be a little bit different on emulator, so forgive me if I can't demonstrate that. But it might be a little bit sooner where you see that you hold straight right, but as soon as Ness is in this position, that's going to be the timing that you want to have, if that makes sense. And it probably doesn't, but whatever. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me later. Yeah, straight right, down right swivel. That's how I always get out of there. And then as soon as you get to like right here, you can hold straight up. And then from there, you can go up left, and then just kind of squeeze your way through that nonsense and get to the drugstore again. And you do not need all of your money to buy as many burgers as you'll need here, but I'm going to withdraw 140 because that's usually how much you'll have, assuming you don't fight anything extra. I withdraw almost all of my money because when I buy burgers, I want to have money left over afterward in case I don't die to Ant, and I don't want to make another trip to the drugstore to withdraw more money because that'll save time in the long run. So I'm just gonna kind of buy burgers until she says oops, because I don't know how many empty slots I have. If ever you don't know how many empty slots you have, feel free to just buy until she says oops with 3 O's. But if you do know how many empty slots you have, if you pay attention to that kind of thing, it'll save you a little bit of time. So it might help if you figure out how to make that work for you. So the optimal pathing to get inside the shack here is to kind of do that, and then kind of glide straight up off of this bush so that you land right here. Because normally, if you approach the door, you'll get the doors locked. But if you want to skip that text, glide up along that bush, land right here, find your way over to the key, hold up left, and go inside. Excuse me. Stuff like that saves time. You're gonna want to move up slightly to get through that doorway. And the way that I like to get into this little tunnel here, because if I hold it straight up left, sometimes it'll work, but sometimes I'll get subpixel caught on the bush. Not always, but sometimes. So what I like to do is hold up as the door transitions, and as soon as I move like 1 pixel upward, I switch to up left. So that's usually how I get into the door. But yeah, if you use no food items, you'll be buying 4 generally. But it still helps to withdraw all of your money, like $140, so that you have as much as possible left over. Like right now I have 59, so if I beat Ant and I don't die, I will be able to buy 4 more burgers. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, give me just a second. I don't know why my throat is so itchy, but I hope I get over that soon. But okay. We're in Giant Step now. What I like to do is I like to hold my controller like this, so that I can, as soon as I see a mouse, like right there, I will catch that reaction and be like, oh, got a stutter. Right here, boom. And I'm gonna go ahead and not take that slug that I saw up there just for the purpose of this. A lot of people would drop 100 by that only affords 7 burgers instead of 8. Wait, what? He worded that sentence weird, but I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, it depends on what you want to do, but this is my strategy. So, okay. So we're gonna dispel some shit here. The debate last year over your giant step grinding strategy, the debate was either to just kind of like go here and do this over and over forever until you get slugs, or you just kind of walk left and right back and forth forever until you get slugs. But it was discovered recently, I don't know by who, but Hello Boing definitely made this a widely known idea. You want to dig into the same spawn tile repeatedly over and over, just like this. Dig into the same spawn tile. And it's probably a lot more to explain to like a newer runner. Oh, but that only. Oh, okay, I hear you, Siren. But yeah, it's your personal preference which spawn tile you use. I like this one just because this little gateway here is so small. So if you see an enemy like up here and you turn right around, it'll, and if like a mouse gets caught like right here, it'll get caught right there so that you don't have to worry about it. And just whatever, just stuff like that. But like anywhere in this like little square area here, because spawn tiles in this game are shaped like squares, I will deactivate it and reactivate it by walking about this far. So like just about where this little cliff right here, meets the edge of the screen. As soon as you hit that, you turn around. And I'm hitting it a little early, but the thing about my TV is that it crops the edges a little bit. So I actually can't see 100% of the screen. I see like a little bit less than that. So as soon as the edge of my TV screen hits the edge of this cliffside here, which is going to be a little bit left over, I turn right back around. And I can just keep going back and forth like this. Digging into the same spawn tile over and over until I find a pack of 4 slugs. And there you go. But yeah, overscan. But yeah, now I found my pack of 4 slugs. This is my first 4-pack, so Ness is level 5. That means we have a very high risk of not one-shotting these guys, so I almost never auto-fight. I bash repeatedly so that I make sure that if I do hit a slug and it doesn't kill it, I hit it again to make sure that it dies next turn. Because if you do auto fight, you'll almost definitely be like hitting this guy for 26 and then hitting this guy over here for 29, and all 4 of them will still be alive. So you want them all to die as soon as possible. So you want to be hitting the same slug multiple times in a row, and we're having some very bad luck here. As soon as the slugs are able to concentrate, which is after turn 4, they have the potential to use hypnosis on you, and if they do, the amount of turns that you stay asleep is indefinite. So you need to make sure that you're prepared in that scenario. Like if the amount of turns that you last in that first slug pack starts to trail, you might want to use life up just as a safety. Especially in the case where attack slugs, your defense is a little bit variable in this situation. Sometimes the slugs will hit you for 3 as soon as you start grinding. Sometimes they'll hit you for 5. So if every single one of those slugs is hitting you for 5 HP of damage and you only have 60 HP, that shit is going to drain very quickly. A notable example, I'm going to call out Skateman right now, but at his No Reset Marathon DreamHack Montreal, he got into his first slug pack of 4 in Giant Step. He, I don't think he did auto fight, but he was just bashing each individual slug with no real regard for his health. And they were doing 5 damage to him each, and he was like, well, it should have been it should be fine, so I'm just gonna bash it out. But then he got hypnotized and put to sleep, and he never woke up, and he died in a marathon. So that's the kind of time save that you want to avoid just by taking preemptive measures. And especially now that we've seen it happen, we want to start being careful in that situation. So we're just going to keep digging into the same spawn tile here, because the bottom floor is the only floor of Giant Step where black Antoids don't spawn. So usually when you get to level 6, you're good to auto fight, but sometimes your offense is still too low. So if you see that you hit a slug for like anywhere between 25 and 29, feel free to just hold B and cancel auto fight. But if, like, it looks like I'm fine right now, so I'm just gonna keep staying on auto fight and mashing A and select to save as much time as possible. Yeah, we want to avoid black Antoids as much as possible because those guys are killer. What I'm going to do is get to 16 slugs. So that's level 7 plus 1 more 4-pack. Hopefully this isn't a 3. Okay, good. The amount of slugs that you need total to get to level 8 is 22. So what I want to do is I want to get 4 4-packs, which is 16. And then I want to go to the top floor and get a 6-pack, which will make it 22. However, I will present the safer alternate strategy, which is very important if you're trying to establish consistency. So I'm at level 7 now, so that means I'm at 12, assuming I didn't fight any extras or any strays. And this can take any amount of time, but it's theoretically the fastest way to make sure that you get a chance at spawning in slugs as quickly as possible. Because if you're walking like straight back and forth forever, you're not instantly getting respawn opportunities. It's happening a little bit more slowly. And despawning the room using that little tunnel up there is also going to be a little bit slower than just walking back and forth, digging into the same spawn tile over and over. Okay, so I'm at 16 slugs now. So if I want to save time and play just a teensy bit risky, not that risky, but a teensy bit risky, I will make my way up to the top floor and kind of use my knowledge of spawns and their positioning to tell the difference between black Antoids and attack slugs, and look for a pack of 6 attack slugs to get straight to level 8 from 1 more encounter and save time from already being at the top when reaching level 8. But what I'm going to do here is the safer idea. And it's still relatively fast, but I just want to get 2 more 4-packs. So I'll go a little bit over on experience and a little bit over on time, but I will definitely be safe in regards to taking fights here. And this is definitely what I advise to newer runners. I didn't realize my HP was so low. We should be fine now. Because they're hitting me for 3. Yeah, there's the auto life up. That's one perk of auto fight. If your HP does get low enough, Ness will automatically life up for you. Even though it uses up a whole turn, so it's unsafe in that way. But you'd always rather life up outside of battle. But it's always like if you're in an emergency, oh, I just need to quickly life up. Auto fight will do the job for you. So after this, I'm gonna be level 8. Assuming Ness ever hits these guys. And there we go. There's the signature hypnosis special. But thankfully Ness woke up immediately. Now we're level 8. Okay, so here's the thing about your offense stat that commentators always talk about, but it's almost like the idea is over really quickly. So if you pay attention during your level up to level 8, if your offense goes up by 2, there is a 0% chance that you have 24 offense. You will almost always have 23 if your offense goes up by 2 when you get to level 8. If your offense goes up by 3 when you get to level 8, check your stats. Because you'll either be at 23 like I am now, or you'll be at 24. It's... I don't know if it's a 50-50 shot if you get level 3. It's like one of those things where it's like either you got it or you're not. And I know Sirium hates that. But if your offense goes up by 4, you always have at least 24. So you don't have to check your stats. Alright, I'm going to stutter step around these guys because I definitely don't need to fight them. I might get red swirled though. Got him! Killing it! Yeah, now basically I just have my right hand on the D-pad the entire time, and I'm just going to stutter step my way upstairs. And I'm also going to stay as far away from each enemy as possible before I start stuttering. Or I can stutter like down here so that I can get further away from them before making my forward advancement, just so that I have as much room as possible for stutter error, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to climb up here, and this floor will either have a bajillion things or it'll have nothing. See, there's my 6-pack. And sometimes your stutter step will start to like weaken because of how much enemy lag there is on screen. So it's not always your fault if you can't stutter step something up here. So just keep that in mind. But since I had 10 psychic points, the magic butterfly filled my psychic points as well. So you life up first and then do that nonsense. So since I have 23 offense, I can't, excuse me, I can't take this single Antoid right here. If I try and auto fight it, it won't work. So I'm just gonna stutter step around it, since I have enough room to do it. Oh, oops. If I see 3 here, I'm not gonna go for it. If the room's empty, I'm obviously gonna waltz right on through. That's a thing that you can't avoid sometimes. I'm just gonna want to bash this out just in case. This is real bad. Yeah, I might actually die here. Yarp. I probably would have been better off healing on that. Whoops. No. I almost lost this entire freaking run. Because of bad matching. That fight is unavoidable sometimes, because if a black Antoid spawns right on top where you stand as soon as you enter the room and you can't move, that'll happen. And I made a mistake. I should have used a burger as soon as I was at that 38 HP mark. I shouldn't have bashed. I don't know why I did. But if I do get into a fight there by accident, or if it's unavoidable, I like to try and save time by using burgers to heal and keeping my stats full instead of prioritizing a use of life up. Even if it means I'll have like 1 or 2 less burgers going into Ant. But if you want to play it safe, which I do recommend always if you're feeling uncomfortable with the run, or if you're still new or whatever, use life up to heal and then just make your turn around and go back outside and use the butterfly again. I'm just gonna make my way back into Giant Step there. Oh, if you do die in Onet at any point, talk to Mom before you go anywhere else so that you heal to max. You want to be at full health almost always. I'm gonna go ahead and despawn this because I don't feel like trying to stutter around it. Man, all these 4-packs when I don't need them. Okay, I just activated every single spawn tile. No problem here. There are so many spoons. Yeah, I like to go behind little structures like that so that I can get enemies caught on it if need be. Like right there. Instead of stuttering, I'm just getting them caught on stuff. That's how you use the environment to your advantage, bad boys. If you start to feel like the lag there, it's better to despawn than to try and stutter because it probably won't work. Well, I still have 23 offense, so I'm going to continue to stutter around this stuff. There we go. Alright, so we're at max health, and you need to be at max health here. You need to be at max health and max psychic points. For Titanic Ant, this is very important. Alright, so your first move is always going to be Cyrocken. Since he did a biting attack, that's not good, but that's okay. Oh, good rock and roll. Rockin' is you're trying to do as much damage as possible to Ant and take out the two ants in the back. In the event of a PSI magnet, don't use life up here to heal. Use a burger. Because Ant sometimes will do magnet on turn 2, because he can do magnet whenever he wants. And he will take any number of psychic points away. So if he takes away 5 here, you would rather have used a burger than a life up, because you can still do rockin' on the next turn that you can. Oh, that's not good. So I'm definitely going to want to use life up here since he hit me for a strong attack. And then if you're at as low HP as I was, I'm gonna make Skate happy with this. If you're at around 30 to 40 HP and you heal, you're gonna want to wait just a little bit before making your next move to have your HP scroll back up to around 50 or 60 before you bash. Because Ant has the potential to smash you for 60 damage, and if he hits you for 60, you're in trouble. Hopefully I can demonstrate that here, actually. But basically, every single turn that Ant hits you, you're gonna want to heal with a burger. Oh, there's the smash. I guess I wasn't at full health though. Didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't demonstrate that very well, but there's the smash. And if you do get smashed, I didn't say it as I was doing it, but you need to menu over to the burger as quickly as possible, because you will have enough time to menu as quickly as you can to a heal if you get smashed, but only, like I said, if you have enough health. So it has to be like because you waited to get up to 50 or 60, because if you get smashed and you're done mortal damage from about 30, you're not gonna have time to menu. So that's the thing that you need to take into account. Since there's an Antoid here blocking the door, what I like to do is just kind of approach from underneath. Try and get it to run from you so that you can get it. I'm gonna grab this burger here. I have 4 now. So, oh, no, I did die. I forgot. I did die. But since I have 30, depending on how new you are to the run, 6 burgers should be fine for cops, but if you're feeling a little uncomfortable or nervous, there is nothing wrong with going to the drugstore, withdrawing a few bucks, and getting 7 or 8. But I'm gonna go with 6, just to show. Just to show how I'm grooving, how I'm feeling. Mash B and select here for no. And what I like to do moving out of here is hold down right, and then as soon as I'm at like about here, like right there, I hold straight down to glide off the bush so that I get inside. Hold straight right to glide on the wall. And then this pathing is going to be the most optimal way there. And your timing between these two trees is gonna be wonky for a while. It's fine if you get caught on it. It's something you have to practice if you're doing RNG minute. But since that doesn't exist in Boogey %, it's not a huge deal if you get caught there. And it's just a timing that you'll figure out. Yeah, now I have 6 burgers, and I feel comfortable going into cops with 6 burgers. But some people might not, so feel free to withdraw more money and get more if you need to. Going above the police station like that is the fastest way to get in there, and then you're gonna want to talk to Strong like this. Mash A and L to hit yes. Over here. So I think I play cops a teensy bit on the risky side, but for races, basically what I like to do, and I'm gonna not do the auto fight thing again. I'm gonna bash it out each turn. If he attacks me, you're fine to hit again. But as soon as he crushing chops you, and if you're anywhere below 60 HP, burger. Doesn't matter if you outspeed. So since I'm at 61, I'm fine with bashing here. But if you're at flat 60 or below, I would recommend healing with a burger. And you're gonna hope that the cop outspeeds you when you heal, because you want to negate the damage that he does to you on that turn. But since I'm at 35 HP, I'm gonna go with the safe strat here and use life up, so that he crushing chops me and I've negated the damage, even though he didn't damage me at all anyway. And I don't wait for HP to tick up here, because you don't really have to. For cops, it's not nearly as threatening. I'm gonna hit him, and then since I'm at 61, I'm fine to hit him again. But now that he's hit me again, no burger. And it's good to do quick mental math in your head. So like 48 plus 30, that's about 70 something. So I'm good to do my next attack. So right here, I'm at 62, so hit him. He has attacked me, so burger. I was fine to bash there, burger here. 20 something plus 58 is perfectly good. Here we go. Sometimes you get a burger drop, and that's super nice, but you can't rely on it. So bash him here. Good to take another hit. We're under 60, so burger. There we go. So for Captain Strong, just to be safe, if you have the means, which I do in this situation, I like to make sure that I'm at max before I try using Rockin'. So I'm going to use a burger here. I'm going to use my next burger as well, because he hit me for that much damage. He is very lethal if he does hit you. It's not always guaranteed that he'll hit you at all, let alone for a lot of damage, but it's better to be safe than sorry. But now that I'm at max health, I'm fine with using Rockin' here. And then we see how much damage Rockin' does, because Rockin' can do anywhere between 40 and 120. So Strong has around 140 HP. So if we get like a 70 to 90 HP hit, and I take a hit, so I'm at like mid-level HP, I'm usually fine with doing another Rockin'. But if it's very low damage, I will heal. There's Onet. So I hope that all of that explanation made sense throughout Onet, and everything that I explained from here forward makes sense. Feel free to ask me questions later on, because I will be publishing this as a VOD. Assuming if I like if I like it, like, because I'll do another take if I need to. But Yeah, feel free to ask me questions later if you need me to elaborate on something. I'm trying to help out every single new runner that I can, you know, on strategy. So your pathing here doesn't matter too much as long as you're just kind of heading in the general down direction and you don't bump into anything. Make sure you keep an eye out for shrooms. For Boogey percent, you're going to want to not go in that house and get the exit mouse. That's why I named my split that. I'm going to go ahead and not risk that. For mushrooms, excuse me, mushrooms have a small circular aggro radius around them. And with experience, you kind of figure out how much of a distance that really is. But it's kind of like, imagine a circle like this big around a mushroom that you just can't enter no matter what. So if there's a mushroom over here, like standing where our nest is right now, and you're walking down this way, kind of get around them. Like right here, I can get around these mushrooms since I'm far enough, I have enough space to work with. But right here is a good example of what not to risk. Like I can probably go around up here actually, like I can. But if you're unsure, if ever you're unsure, just go over here, quick despawn. He's gone. Make sure you stay safe, stay careful. You don't want to die. You don't want to die and lose time. If you see this right here, especially with that mushroom below, I'm not gonna go ahead and stutter around that guy. I'm gonna stutter back and respawn the area. And then if you see enemies like down there in the lower left corner or whatever, you can always go around this way. If you need to, whatever floats your boat. And then, okay, so I've seen new runners go down below there in front of these buildings and then get like the bike photo. You're gonna want to go behind the buildings by going diagonally down right here and then cut between this area right here because you can fit, and then take straight right and up into the Tucson department store. That's gonna be the fastest and safest way for you to get there. Withdraw $500 and then do the save. This isn't a safety save. It is a safety save, but it's not primarily a safety save. This is going to be our Death Warp save. We do this every single run. After we finish the whole Happy Village fiasco, we're going to Death Warp back here, one way or another. And I'll be sure to try and explain most, if not all, of the strategies, because there are a lot of different options. Not doing vulgar strats. I would highly advise against vulgar strats. It's too risky. IMO. That's the second hippie I've seen so far. Yeah, that pathing that I took, pay close attention to that, whatever. That's how you get here quickly. Apple Kid. I'm gonna give him my can of fruit juice since I never used it, and I'm gonna hang on to that burger. Mash A&L here to give him $200. Then just kind of make your way up this way. And this section of the run can take any amount of time it wants to, because either spawns are going to be here or they're not going to be here. Oh, I completely walked right past that butterfly. Sorry, I'm not used to mole warp strats anymore. I used to be, because mole warp used to be the colloquial standard, and it is still. But in PB attempts for glitchless, I've been foregoing mole warp strats and doing a different Death Warp strat, which is the Shackfight Death Warp. We're not going to go into details about it, but basically you don't get magic butterflies to heal. But since oh, I can actually go ahead and life up now. I still have the psychic points for it, so I'm at max health. You're going to want to life up to max whenever you can, and then you're going to need 2 butterflies after that.
Oh, yes.
Yo, Flash, thank you for the host, man. As soon as you see a UFO in this area, any new runner, I would advise to despawn it. As soon as you're directly above this grass patch, this one right here that Ness is standing on, get up right here and then book it back around. You don't have to go any further than that. I'm gonna try and show my stuff when it comes to like using the terrain to my advantage in PRV, because I know how to handle the movement pattern of UFOs. But that comes a lot more with experience than just me being able to explain it to you and then you be able to pick it up. But it's something to keep in mind from time to time. Basically, whenever you see a UFO or a diamond, just get away from it, because those things are very threatening. And it's going to be very hard for you to get away from them. Yeah, I can't get that butterfly because that's too close to those shrooms. You would always rather get 2 butterflies that are conveniently in your path than going out of your way for them. I'm going to go ahead and go below the building here because of Fancy Lardna. That guy's annoying too. Get him caught on that. It'll be okay. But generally, going behind those buildings is going to be the safest and fastest way to get through this town when going back and forth here. Is this going to get on YouTube? Yeah, probably. If I like it. If not, I'll try doing another one. But if I like it, I'll put it on my YouTube as well. You want me to show the grass patch again for the pencil thing? Sure. As soon as I get up there, I'll show you. Okay, so this is the sketchy sprout. So like, the more experience you have with this, the better you can tell. But if he's standing right there, you should be able to get down here, hold straight left, make sure Ness, like, see how Ness is 1 pixel. If you get real close, you can see that Ness is 1 pixel off of the edge of the screen here. So if I turn around, the sprout might still be there. There he is. But if I go straight left and I get all the way deep in there, see, now Ness is touching the edge, I might be able to turn around and have the sprout be gone. Nope, he's still there. But it's like, that 1 pixel can and has before made a difference. And it looks like my stream is going down, so awesome. Pause the timer. And contemplate our life choices and have a stare down with the sprout until the stream comes back. Hooray. Alright, are we good? Are we Gucci? I think we are. Yeah, like I was getting ready to explain. Sometimes, like, if you see the sprout that's like in that kind of little range, that little area right there, to the right of where the cliff kind of angles upward, you should be able to, most of the time, not always, but most of the time, go straight left, get pixel perfect aligned with the wall here, and have him disappear. But if it doesn't work, that means you have to go back here and respawn it. But I feel like it's always worth it to at least give it a shot. Oh, here, for flesh. The grass patch that you want to walk just straight above, like the actual point where the iron pencil loads is about right here, but I would recommend going like right there, and then just boog it back down. Like go right here, bam. It's definitely loaded, and it's definitely in memory now, and the phone call will activate. And that's as far as you have to go. We used to think, hopefully I didn't spawn anything. Well, never mind. I was gonna say we used to think that the grass patch above that was where we had to go, but it's actually a lot lower. Okay, so I'm gonna willfully death trap myself here. Because there's a spawn tile right in here, And there's a spawn tile. And PRV loves me right now. There's a spawn tile right in here. It's very, very easy to get caught in between them. Some situations you just can't get out of. But if ever you're in a spot where you're stuck and you have to take a fight, take the thing that's less threatening. Like right now I have full health but no psychic points. So if I have a UFO on the left and, for example, sprouts on the right, and I'm going to go ahead and not actually do this because I don't feel like dying right now. But if I have sprouts on the right, I'm going to take the sprouts because after a few turns I should be able to run away from them, and I have a lot of health so that if they do hit me, it'll take a decent number of turns before I die, and I should be able to get away. And then from there I can use iframes to walk as far as possible down. Like I would much rather take the sprout than the UFO. See, if I was ballsy, I could probably use my knowledge of the diamond's movement pattern to get past him, but it's usually not worth the risk. So sometimes I can kind of like stand right here and have him despawn himself, but if he's aggroed onto me too hard, then I'm gonna need to go back up here. But it looks like I've trapped myself, so I can go down here, despawn the guys up there, and hopefully I can despawn them. Get up here. That's not good. Oh, that's even less good. Okay, okay, I need that guy up there to despawn himself. So you can stand right here, have him despawn himself. Looks like it's not gonna work though. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Alright, I'm gonna want to... Yeah, no matter what I do here, I'm getting into a fight one way or another, and it's probably gonna be with the UFO. So here's what I would try. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. But it's always, the ideal strategy is to just go for whatever you can. Go for whatever seems the safest. And you know what, it might have been better to, now that I think about it, it might have been better to just take the diamond up there and try and bash it out. Because this UFO has very high speed, and it also has very high HP, and it also has a very high chance of attacking you. So you don't want to fight UFOs. Especially since I have no psychic points. Like, it would be easier if I was able to use rock in here, but I can't. So I'm in a bad spot. So I would have rather gone up to fight the robo to get out of this situation safely than to take either of these. So I made a mistake. So learn from my mistakes. Yeah, it looks like we're dead. And that's this game for you. Hey, Lamau. But thank goodness for the Tucson save, because otherwise it would be all the way back at our house. One key strategy that I advise to any new runner as well: if you die, don't give up, don't forfeit. Forfeiting is for scrubs. Anything can happen. You can still recover. And you never know if the other person's gonna die or not as well. So give it all you got, no matter what. Yeah, I mean, if you're grinding for a Boogey percent PB for whatever reason, I understand the merit of resetting and not wasting time with a run that's dead, basically. But if you're in a race, there is zero reason to forfeit ever. You always have the potential to come back. I don't know why I'm getting almost no butterfly spawns. It should be nowhere near this uncommon for butterflies to spawn. So a neat little despawn trick that a lot of us like to do is to just kind of go up here, hit the tree, go left, and then go down left there. Usually works, and there's usually nothing in this area after that. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but when it does, it's always good. There's one butterfly, and we still have a decent number of butterfly spawn tiles left. And by that I mean one. But this last one at the very end up here almost always spawns. And if it doesn't, you can always just respawn it and get it again. So another thing about the aggro radius of mushrooms and sprouts, like I could risk this, but it would probably result in me getting completely screwed. However, I will say, just for funsies, I can probably get this guy caught there. Good. And I've made it past him. But if I get spawns down here, like that UFO, even though I think it's probably stuck in the wall, it is stuck in the wall. If I get spawns down here, and this guy's up there, I'm pincered. So that's a risk that it's, sometimes you might gamble it, sometimes you might not. Just things like that you gotta consider. Yeah, we're through PRV now. And I think I've explained basically everything I want to. Snakes, if they're running toward you, just take them. You'll just auto kill them. Because I've been ballsy before trying to like stutter one of these guys, and it's like, oh no, red swirl. Even though I got away from this one apparently. But I've gotten red swirled trying to stutter these way too many times. And you'd rather just take the auto win. I've seen new runners do this. They go straight in here with no regard for their safety. Bad idea. Especially in races. You will die. Go in here, tank through getting this equipment. You need it. Both the Sandlot Bat and the Holmes Hat are pivotal. You need those in order for this to be safe enough for you. I have one hamburger, so I'm going to buy 2 croissants. I can't afford a second croissant, so I'm going to withdraw some more money because I died. I didn't need to withdraw 50, but this is about how much money you'll have at this point without a death. Okay, now I have 3 healing items. 3 healing items I like to have for this section, in addition to my max health. If you see a cultist, go back. You don't want to fight these guys. You need to fight as little as possible here. If you do get into a fight with a cultist, I'm sure most people know this by now, but if you're a new runner, you probably don't have enough experience with this to have figured it out. But it is impossible to run from insane cultists. There is a 0% chance you will ever run from them because of the way that certain enemies in EarthBound are scripted. You can check Paula from just to the left of this second pole. So the second pole to the right of the door, just to the left of that you can check. But anyway, the way that insane cultists are programmed is that since there is one fight that's required that they don't want you to be able to run from, which is this fight out here, they flagged all insane cultists as completely unrunnable. So this is the infamous shack fight. So even if you green swirl a cultist somehow, you won't be able to run from it, just for future reference. So you're gonna have to either bash it out or use rockin'. Use rockin' turn 1 here. Sometimes they call for help, it happens. You're usually okay, especially since we have our defense boost. Just use another rockin' if they call for help. Or use another rocket if there's 2 of them still alive. But if there's 1 of them still alive and they're probably within 1 hit of dying, it's probably all good if you just bash, just like that. But if they call for help again, you'll need another Rockin'. That's why we need full health here. We need 3 Rockins just in case of an emergency. So, okay. Since I have 15 psychic points, I'm gonna go ahead and use a life up here to save my healing items and have 10 psychic points left over for another Rockin'. But if I had, like, if I had exactly 10 or 11 or whatever after Shack Fight, I would use a croissant to heal. And after that, I would have 2 healing items left. But since I had that convenient 5 psychic points, I figured I'd take advantage of that and use a life up. Because you want to be at max for this next upcoming fight. I'm going to go ahead and despawn this because that's very risky. I probably could have gotten around it, but I'm trying to play safe here. If you're low on healing items at this point, you can always talk to this guy and get this croissant, but since I have 3, I'm gonna go ahead and not get it. Oh, whoops. For this guy, I'm gonna auto fight him. But if he calls for help and summons, I'm gonna immediately cancel by holding B. Oh, nice. I got a 2-hit because I have enough offense. Usually he'll go down in 3 hits, but sometimes he'll go down in 2, and it's always nice when he does. But since we're at a lot of HP, we need to watch our health here. I want to get my health as low as possible during the Carpainter fight, so I'm going to not heal on turn 3. Basically, you want to have your health be as low as possible without being too low. So you're wanting around 23, 24 HP. Probably 24 or 25 if you're a newer runner. Just to be a little bit safe. You want to be at around that HP range so that every single turn that he attacks you, which is every 3rd turn, you can use a healing item and stay alive. That's the ideal strategy here. But since I'm at such high health, and he's gonna hit me for about 50, I'm gonna go ahead and not heal. I'm just gonna auto my way through this. You're basically hoping that his lightnings reflect. Oh, nice smash. So right now I'm gonna... Okay. I didn't even get to demonstrate the use of the healing items, but... Okay, 59 HP is a good number to be at for the Death Orb coming up. It's not the best, but it's good. But basically, if I was anywhere between like 25 and around 50 HP, Carpainter's fight is scripted. I get to explain all of this after I'm already done. Turn 1, he will always do double lightnings. Turn 2, he will do life up. Turn 3, he'll hit you for about 50. So if you're at that really low HP range that isn't too low, you're going to want to, for turn 3, always use a healing item so that you stay alive. I didn't get to do that in this situation because I got too lucky, but that's how it'd be. And that's how you keep your health as low as possible for the Death Orb off of the mole. And having 3 healing items for Carpainter makes it to where you're extremely likely to make it out okay. So I'm gonna get right here, drop my cheap bracelet, drop my Holmes hat, and use the key. Well, if the fight goes really long because you don't get any lightning reflex, that's just the point where you die. If I'm being honest. I think I just forgot to, wow, I'm such an idiot. I forgot to use Rockin' during that fight. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I completely forgot to do it. That's why I kept the 10 psychic points. I was gonna use Rockin' on turn 2 because that's the turn that he uses life up. If you have enough psychic points to use Rockin' during the Carpainter fight after the second cultist fight, you're gonna want to do that on turn 2, so that if, assuming he outspeeds you and life's up, you immediately negate the life up by doing a Rockin's worth of damage. So for the Mole playing rough, you're gonna want to red scroll yourself so that he attacks first. And then you're just gonna want an ATM card and bash until he kills you, basically. Alright, so Nest, if Nest dies first, you can just auto fight with Paula now. There we go. All you need is 100 here, because the only thing we're going to be buying for the rest of the run is Paula's revival. I go around this way to talk to him from underneath to get the backstage pass. Paula has to be alive for you to talk to him and for you to take her home. But she doesn't have to be alive to talk to Everdread, I think. But I've been hearing people tell me that I have some dumb bitrate drops here and there lately, and I have no idea why. I wonder if it's because of my cam. So that little walk right there, I like to like make my way up like this and then kind of be a little bit above the building so that I glide left when I hold left and I miss the photo trigger that's right there and I just go up inside. I'm gonna swerve around this guy because he always likes to block you. Use the backstage pass. The backstage pass will either be here or here, and there's not really a way to remember unless you're just keeping track of your inventory. So I like to just like quickly open it, scan it, and then either just go straight down or and then down over. And your reaction time to that kind of thing gets better with more experience. But once I figure out where the backstage pass is, the wad of bills is going to be in the other spot, so I remember that for the next menu. Oh yeah, I'm starting to get real tired. But that's good because I have the day off today and I need to get as much sleep as I can, get as much rest as I can. So after I finish all of this stuff, I'm gonna take a long nap. Talk to her real quick and then kind of move around her like that. What I like to do in this room is as the door transitions, kind of like when I'm entering Giant Step after leaving the shack. As the door transitions, I move like 1 pixel and then I cut up left, because for whatever reason, if you hold up left, you get caught right there. So what I do to circumvent that is I hold left for like 1 pixel and then cut up left immediately, and then use a lot of those here. So that's how I optimize that movement. That takes practice. Don't fret if you don't get it right the first try, or the next like 10 tries. But it's a nice little frame saver. We've got another movement that's kind of like that coming up out here. What I like to do is hold straight right, down left, left to get behind that pole, and then talk to this guy as soon as you're straight below him. But if you're not feeling that, if that doesn't feel good for you, go here, down, and around to him. And some people go the left side, but that's slower. So, no. But if you want to, it's no big deal. Left side bus. Like I keep saying, I hope that everything that I'm explaining kind of like makes sense, because it's kind of hard to explain like every single thing that goes on in my brain while I'm running this game, because a lot of action, like especially in battles and stuff, is so like fast paced. I can't really go over every single thing that I'm considering, and I can really only explain it as it's happening on screen. So if you guys have any more questions like later on or right now, if you rewatch this later and you want me to elaborate on something, like I've already said, feel free to ask me, because I'm always around. I'm always in Discord, I'm always on Twitter, and I'm always looking to help out new runners. So pay close attention to my pathing. This is the fastest way you're gonna get through Graveyard, or you're gonna get up to Graveyard. So now you're okay. My approach to Graveyard is like this. I like to go up through these 2 gravestones, go this way, keep an eye out for any spawns. If there's any flies like over in this area over here to the left, cut back. And then just kind of get up through here as quick as possible. Because once you're up here behind this little wall of like gravestones and rocks, you're usually safe from whatever you see. And then you're gonna want to go up here, and you're usually, just like those flies up there, you're usually going to see, like 99% of the time you're gonna see those. So you're gonna, like, as soon as you do, cut straight down, glide off of that, and line up right here. And usually that takes care of the flies. so that they're no longer there. But those guys were still there, so we're gonna go ahead and despawn those, and now we're up here. So let me demonstrate that one more time. Because normally in a glitchless run you do that twice. So I'm coming straight left here. We start heading upward. We see flies. We're gonna assume that there are flies there. Cut straight down. Okay, that's actually bad. We can't do that now. Hold on. This trash can right here, by the way, is the only real one. You can see that it's slightly colored darker. God damn it, I'm trying to not get into a fight. Yeah, we go up here, we see flies, we cut straight down. Right here, turn right back up. They're almost always gone. And then this grass patch right here is how far you have to go. And I didn't do it right, but if you go like right here, turn back around. And that's how you optimize that. And you want to, right after those zombies look at you and everything, you want to be like right down here in case you see something to the left like this. So you can cut back without, or with the risk of an encounter being mostly eliminated. Alright, so we're just gonna avoid that fly the best we can and then make our way out of here. And that's basically my approach to Graveyard. Fun fact, if you hold straight left this entire time and you time your L press, you can talk to her. So no problem here. I like to do that for luck sometimes. Even though you're losing time that way, but it's whatever. What's up, chocolate cake? But just to let y'all know, I'm not going to wrap up as soon as this is over. I'm gonna do one more practice run after this to kind of like try and exhibit everything that I just explained. So for this little room here, I like to hold right for a little bit, and then down right, and then right. I should be able to get to the door like that. Hold straight left here. And a lot of people, a lot of new runners, including myself when I was new, they usually notice that this little section of menuing is one of the first things that they start to get really solid on. And that's good, and it's always good practice to just kind of make sure that you do this as optimally as you can. Very good menuing practice. And just to set an example, I'm gonna try to go ahead and like walk you through it a little bit slowly. So as soon as we get here, open, goods, upright, key the locker. Go back into the door as far to the right as you can. Talk to Maxwell again. Don't do that thing that I just did. And then it's going to be the same cursor movements you just did again right here. A, right, upright. Oops. A, right, upright. Well, it's actually A, right, A, upright, A. And then to do the equipment, it's A, right, down, equip, mash until this is done, up, mash until this is done, BB. And you start to stop attributing like the name of each button that you press to what you do, and instead you just kind of think of like the muscle memory movement that you do. The more experience you get with it, the more you figure it out, and the faster you get it done. Because the sooner you get your menuing consistency faster, you're gonna start saving a lot of time. Alright, so that crow is really far to the right, so I'm just gonna kind of like barely despawn him and then go this way. But what I like to do if I see a goat, hopefully I can spawn one in. No, not a crow. Not a crow. This could take hours. Okay, we'll stick with dog. But if I like to, if I see a goat, I like to despawn it to the right by going far enough to the right instead of trying to risk despawning it to the left. But if I see a dog, here's what I like to try. I like to get Monkey to get stuck behind me, and I messed it up. But I try to get the green swirl on the dog by getting Monkey to stop moving and then catch up with me again. But if you're gonna fight anything here, fight a dog. Don't fight anything else. Chocolate Cake, thank you for the bit. But definitely fight the goat because you'll, or not the, oh whoa, excuse me, not the goat. Definitely fight the dog if you see it because it'll make the proto fight safer. Because now I have 31 HP instead of 30 and that can make a difference. You'll always get a level from that dog fight. But everything else you want to stay away from. Alright, I'm gonna try to explain the photo trigger skip here in greater detail than people usually do, like on commentary. Because usually when people are on commentary and they talk about the photo trigger skip, they're just like, you go for it, and you either you get it or you don't, or whatever. But when you come out of this tent, you hold straight right to glide along this tent. And then as soon as you're about here, hold on, let me set that up again. As soon as you're about here, you hit that slide down. No, as soon as you're about what? It's an interesting timing. As soon as you're about there, you need to hit that down right. Oh my gosh, apparently my voice is breaking from talking so much. Sorry. But I'm definitely gonna get a drink during Tessie. Hit that down right just barely. Just like I was talking about before with the table in the house and other stuff like that, like with the crack bat grab and all that stuff at the table. That barely down right tap, and then yeah, you tap down right there and then hold right, and you will miss the photo. What other people like to do is they just hold right and then they glide around the tent here, and it's all good, and it's all good in the hood and everything, but glide on the tent and barely tap down right, and you will skip the photo. It's not nearly as hard as it looks. It might take a little bit of practice, but definitely go for it. I definitely advise that you do it. It's 100% worth it every time. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick here. Oh, I didn't split. Ah. Okay. Hold down left here. And then once you hit this grass patch, hit straight down. Once you hit that grass patch, straight down right. The goat will be gone. A nice consistency that I like to hit. Okay, hold down left here, and then time it like that. And then press L. Aw, I messed up. That's not as important, but you can open the present that way if you time it right. And in this fight, there's no strategy. You just kind of hope that you live. The only situation where it matters to strategize is if he calls for help. If the protoplasm calls for help, basically what you're gonna want to do is start defending until turn 6 or 7 for the most safety. And then from there, just kind of run away and get away from the fight as soon as you can. Alright, I'm gonna try and go over duck skip. I'm gonna try. But it's very situational and you have to know what you're doing. But yeah, there's an example of a spawn point where I can drag him down. So now I de-aggro him from me and let him move around randomly. And I try to get it to move to the left, but it's completely random. You just gotta hope for it. Sometimes it doesn't always work. But yeah, there. He's moved left now, so I'm gonna stand right here to drag him even further to the left, and now I should be able to make it. There we go. So we're past him. But duck skip is one of those things where you have to know that his spawn point is workable. So let me find an example of where you can't really trust it. Like right here. Like if he spawns right there and then he starts moving down, you can't really rely on duck skip. Like maybe like what you can try is instead of trying to set it up, just kind of work from it right there and hold this right here and then hope monkey sticks by your side and you make it past him, but it doesn't always work. But if you can't really drag him down very far, that's basically the point where you just want to say, no, I don't want to try setting this up, I want to just take the fight. But duck skip comes with a lot of experience. A lot of experience. Yeah, sometimes running from Proto 1 will take a long time. You can't really help it. It is RNG. And second Proto skip is also completely RNG. It depends on the monkey. But you also need to not mess up the skip, which I actually did mess up the skip with my Boogey PB, so I am ashamed. Alright, so we're gonna let him disconnect from me one more time. Right here, you want to cut it. Sometimes monkey will stop and it doesn't work. Okay, we can demonstrate calling for help here. So even though it would be easier in this situation, we'll pretend that this is Proto 1. So it's like, oh no, it'll take 3 hits to kill him, and I'm taking 5 HP of damage every single attack. Man, that sucks. So it's like, oh, I gotta run away. Alright, got away. Cool, we made it. After Proto 1, I like to use the boiled egg so that my inventory is always the same. The bad key machine will always be right here. So if I have another healing item, for example, like if I get a cookie, or if I get the bread roll from the dog fight from way forever ago, I don't use the roll first, I use the boiled egg first, and then I use the roll afterward, just to get my inventory management to be the same. As far as Pond Cave goes, you're either you're extremely ballsy and you want to stutter whatever spawns here, like I'm gonna start doing in future runs, or you want to play it safe, and new runners will generally want to play it safe and just keep leaving and exiting and re-entering the room until this spawn area is empty. And The best strategy you can do for Pawn Cave is to just despawn by turning around as the first moment you can. And you just kind of hope for the best. I'm going to stutter step around these guys because I have a lot of room to do so. And I'm also going to take this hamburger so that I heal to max. Because that'll be faster than taking the revitalizer. Okay, so if you're stuttering something like that and it's real close, you want to be careful in case Monkey stops moving. If Monkey stops moving while you're trying to stutter, stop stuttering. Stand still until you see him shake around like that, and you're good to move again. Because it's very likely that the enemies will touch Monkey and it'll red swirl you and you'll get into a very bad fight. If you can despawn these guys, or sorry, if you can stutter these guys by reacting and turning around, I have my right hand on the D-pad again. Turn around as soon as possible and stutter step so that you can despawn them from a closer distance than if you were to just kind of run away and drag them. Do that instead. Mushrooms, if they're spawned like low enough, like to the bottom of the screen, you can walk around them from above. But like in a situation like this, well, actually I can probably make it around this one. Yeah, barely. But if ever you're unsure, don't go for it. Yeah, we finally got through that room. If there's anything here, just leave and come back. You gotta wait until this area is empty. Because anything you fight in here is very dangerous. Get the bottle rocket, you'll need it, probably. And then if Monkey like stops moving like around here or whatever, wait for him to catch up to you before opening your menu. Oh, whoops. Before opening your menu and using the bubblegum, because he will fly for less of a distance if you just wait for him to catch up to you. And his flying is really slow. Okay. For mushrooms here, if you see anything above like the top of Jeff's head right here, like right here, anything above the top of Jeff's head, go down and despawn it as soon as you can. Like, you don't have to get completely off the rope like for that mushroom position. You could probably get like right here and have it despawn. So you want to despawn as soon as possible. So like if it were just this mushroom right here, like I said, it's not above the top of Jeff's head. Like the bottom of their feet is lower than that, so they'll get caught on the wall. But this guy on the left is obviously gonna be in your way when you try to get out, so you need to despawn him. Just go down as far as you need to get rid of him. Now, these two guys on the right would be fine to get past, but this one guy right there will probably be the end of you. Just like this. I might die here because of that mistake. Come on, hit him again. Don't kill me. Oh, that's close. Okay. I'm trying to teach the children how to play. Well, now I can get through here. Yay! If Monkey had stopped, I would have accidentally gotten a green swirl, but a green swirl is better than a red. But yeah, if those guys are far enough to the right, you should be able to make it past them. But if ever you're unsure, you're uncomfortable, definitely despawn. And as far as cave boys go, like I'll show you that I can get around this guy easy peasy. Like I can get him caught there or do whatever. Whoops. I want to spawn in another one that's hard to get past. Like this guy to the left right here, you can get past him because they're slower than you. Like just take advantage of the fact that they're slower than you and that there's a lot of Stonehenge rocks to get them caught on. You can also get cave boys caught on the Stonehenge base entrance in the middle, like the little hole in the ground. It actually is like a thing with collision. And you're gonna want to mash B and select through this to select no to both of these questions, because that's faster. So if for any reason that Jeff isn't full health here, if you want to be safe, go ahead and heal him max, because for Boogie Tent, I want Jeff generally to be at max health, because I want Jeff to be able to get off his big bottle rocket first turn before dying in the event that he gets attacked. Good, that's what I was going for, Flesh. Thank you, Shin. I appreciate that. I'm not doing glitch list today though. Maybe later tonight, but I'm definitely taking a nap first. Even the best of us are still learning new stuff, Flesh. I wish there was a fast forward button on the SNES. Trying to go faster. Jeff joins is one of those weird splits where everybody splits it differently. But for consistency's sake, I split it whenever this text box closes. Oh, whoops. Like as soon as that closes. That's when I split it. I actually split a little bit late. Alright, so you can... Oh, dad call! Whoops. Yeah, okay, so from here you can go right here and then like stop like just in front of the door, like right there. Go to bad key machine and skip the doors locked text. I didn't start doing that until like a month ago because I thought that the setup for that was harder. Alright, if you see a single enemy out here, go back inside and come back. Because for real. Like anything that you see has a danger of catching you and just completely wrecking you. Get that teddy bear every single run. Hugo would be the only person to get a dad call on a boogie run. Hey, Lamau. Yeah, just kind of make your way down here. Oh, watch out for pumpkin kids. If there's a zombie dog down here, turn right back up. That happens sometimes, and you will get caught by him. The safest thing I can tell you to do for this fight on turn 1, defend, defend, big bottle rocket. Because that way you will more than likely get Jeff's big bottle rocket off, even in the insanely rare, but it does happen situation where Boogie Tent chooses to attack, targets Jeff, and gets past the teddy bear, which is a 1 in 36 chance if I recall correctly. But it's happened to me like 5 or 6 times. And for that reason, Jeff just gets completely wiped out. So the best way that I have thought of to circumvent that is just defend, BBR. And then on turn 2, if Jeff doesn't one-shot, you can use Ness's Rockin', Hollis Freeze, and Jeff's regular rocket. And time. GG, because I was trying for a good time there. Yeah, that was a good boogie fight. And let's throw in a quick tent glitch tutorial too. So here's the way I like to set it up. I like to go down here and then hold straight right, and then just go upright, 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 until I get balls deep in there. There we go. So as soon as you press L and the text box takes forever to appear, you are Gucci. And it looks like my stream's going down again, which is no surprise. Oh, never mind. Just dropping frames. Then you just mash L until you get some crazy shit. Oh, cancel me out of it. Let's see if we actually get something interesting this time. Because I don't know why, but my cart, I always get the same result. Come on, give me something. Come on, man. Getting bored. Oh. I selected something. Better. N4 equals 2B9. Oh, are we locked? Are we soft locked? I think we might be soft locked. The music stopped. Oh, interesting. Something. Oh, fuck. Better. Five equals 2B9. Apparently N4 equals 5 equals 2B9. Something percent. This is an interesting loop. I've never seen this before. 8PO equals 2B9. We're finding out all these brand new things about math. Now we gotta solve. It's like solve for P. P equals 082B9. Oh yeah, solve for B would be better. Just divide every side by 9, and then divide every side by 2. It's like, oh, now we got P over 2 on this side. It's like, well, I gotta fucking do some shit. I wonder if I hold the direction, something will change. I hold the X button. I'll get the debug menu. Yeah, we're just getting the same stuff over and over now. Alright. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more Boogey % run in an attempt to exhibit everything that I've tried to explain so far. Oh, I don't need to reset. trying to set up manip here. My latest run is 203. Oh shit, I didn't mean to save that to my splits. Let's actually not save that. Thanks. We'll make my target my target slits. Some fresh RNG, folks. Yeah, I've got my race with Xander on Saturday, so I need to get this practice in for sure. So we're gonna keep our tight movement. We're gonna save all the frames we can. Grab this from afar. Get that A1 menuing. So I'm mashing LA and B here. I'm gonna switch over to You're My Bestest Friend. I'm gonna switch over to LNA. And then I time my B press so that I don't overmash. But I only do that whenever I have to move again. Because like, once I finish mashing text and it like puts me into a cutscene like it's just there, I can just mash it out. Talk to Pokey in the center because that's the fastest. By just a teensy bit. And I'm gonna do behind the couch just for funsies. You don't have to do that. It's a very difficult timing you gotta get down. And that's why almost nobody does it. Because nobody cares enough. I wonder if I can even despawn that from here. Probably not. Nope. Yeah, I've got my right hand on the D-pad in case I have to stutter. I got real close, so I played it a little bit more carefully. I'm gonna get this guy caught on here, go around. I got complacent. I didn't think there'd be a snake up here. So we lost a little bit of time adjusting to that. Hey, is my internet gonna stop being a dick for once in my life? Almost forgot to grab this. Take that break. Resume mashing like just before the end of the animation. Take that break. It's very important. That's real bad. Sometimes there ain't nothing you can do about it though. This man hitting it up, stopping that traffic. T-ball bat first, then baseball cap. Tell that guy. Straight down, right here. Fruit juice. Can never sneeze just once. I hear you. If his charge forward on turn 1 hit me, I would have used a bread roll on turn 2. Thankfully, I didn't need to. Alright, so... Fuck! Stupid OBS keeps disconnecting. I was planning on using the bread roll after, after Yes Man, but I decided that I would rather use it if he hits me for a small attack here, since it wouldn't have healed me to full. 46 HP is the low end of the spectrum. And that's how you take advantage of that. I'm sorry my stream keeps going down, guys. I don't know why it's been doing that so much lately. It's just been every like hour or so it does that. And I have no idea why. Like it didn't used to do that nearly as much. I used to be able to go multiple streams without having stream drops. But it's all good because I have local recording going and I'm gonna edit this and post it to YouTube anyway. I'm gonna edit it. No, I'm not gonna splice a run. I'm gonna edit the strategy run. To get record right now, I would say you need like a mid 27 on it. Maybe a high 27. Yeah, I think high 27, like sub 28 for sure. Because my PB is like 10 or so seconds away. And I definitely lost like 30 some just from my brick road being bad. I also lost time to buying more burgers after Ant because I had to. My own net would have been faster. Why am I doing this? I don't want to do that. In fact, I'm going to drag you closer so I can despawn you this way. Are they still hitting me for 5? Oh my god, my defense is terrible. My offense is really good. Oh, just kidding. It's not that good. Not that good. Yeah, this is not going well at all. Thank you. That actually took over a minute. Yeah, since my offense went up by 4, I know I have 24. I didn't have to check, but I felt the need to demonstrate that anyway. Keeps happening, I hate it. I'm gonna use a bird here instead of that because he used magnet. So that saved my ability to use rock in a second time, even though it didn't work out very well. So right there, we're gonna wait a little bit and then bash. So for future offline viewers, since Erythium and everybody who's watching can't hear me, I'm gonna grab this burger and then buy 5 more, and that'll put me at 6. I won't need to withdraw any more money. Even though Ant used all of my burgers, I'll still be able to get 6. Oh, I've exited host mode 7 times. Awesome. James is offline now anyway. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna play by the 60 rule here. Yeah, we definitely had a rough string of ant and cops there, but we got through it okay. Because we played it safe. Knowing how to play it safe while still playing it fast is key. Oh man, I glanced away for half a second and almost got myself shroomed. Oops. Man, that was the worst. That was the worst walk to Alpha in my life. Forgive me for doing this while way more tired than I expected. I got it. I'm still alert enough to do this. I'm just eyes drowsy and face yawny. But I can still play really well when I'm tired sometimes. Depends on the kind of tired that I am. Yeah, that's the stupid sprout I'm talking about. Sometimes you can get them by doing that, but sometimes you can't. Depends on the perfect pixel position of them. Pretend they aren't there.
Charles, you've always been a babe. Really? I got almost no butterflies the whole time. You're a bitch. No problem. I'd love to get 5 psychic points here. Oh. I'm gonna make sure I don't eat that cookie. Actually, I'm gonna eat it. Now we at max. I don't feel like dealing with cookie shit. I could use the cookie to potentially score lower HP at the end of the carpenter fight, but sometimes I feel like going for it, sometimes I don't. That's bad. Oh. Okay. Fuck you. Alright, looks like I get to go for an alternate Death Warp strat, assuming my stream doesn't go down again. So instead of going to fight the mole, because that's a stupid idea, we're going to go out here and Death Warp on something more likely to kill us faster. Oh, whatever. I was gonna go for life minerals, but no biggie. I'm so mellow right now. I'm ready for that nap, honestly, but I'm not gonna quit. We can do it. I'm so ready for sleep.
Listen,
No
man.
idea.
Please.
Sarah, you trying to smash? How am I caught on that? Oh, really? Having cam on while tired is so incriminating. It's like, wow. Yawning every 30 seconds? What is wrong with you? Serum killing it. That emote. But excuse me. I'm assuming my target time for Tessie is a little bit higher than it should be because I'm not saving 50 seconds in any way, shape, or form. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, dog. That was when I'm one hit away when they dodge. Fuck me, dude. Monkey, please. I had that. I wanted to drag him just a little bit more. I thought I heard "let me tell you something," but I guess I was hearing things. That's why I was confused. So if Boogey Tent somehow one-shots Paula or something, I can meet target. Aw, I was kind of hoping for it. Hey, Lamau. Nice. Well, I just fucked myself pretty bad. Ness, wake up. Thank you. And it's like the aroma of washing through the Can't wake up. Can't wake up. Wake me up inside. Can't wake up. Save me. Save me from the nothing I've become. Oh, can I sub 110? Can I sub 110? Ah, shit. I think I split early too. Oh, well. The answer is no, I can't. Can't wake up either. You right, Sirium. You right. Okay. Well, I think I would call that strategy run and exhibition pretty satisfying. I think that was pretty good. I think it's gonna do its job pretty decently. It just sucks that the stream went down so many different times, and I also had some frame drops here and there. But I did have the local recording going the whole time, so it's all Gucci. I will be using that. I'll be not splicing, but I'll be splicing it, editing it so that I can upload it to YouTubes, and then I'll post that in Discord and all that nonsense so people can reference it if they want to. Mainly newer runners. But if any of the other peeps want insight into what goes on in my head when I do EarthBound speedruns, they can feel free to watch that as well. And like I said, my name is Uko. Uko whatever, Uko Tunes. And if you want to ask me any fucking questions about Boogey Percent or any other EarthBound category that I know how to answer questions for, i.e. glitchless or Sesame Percent, feel free to send me a message. Feel free to @ me on Twitter. Feel free to @ the role no in the EarthBound Discord. Uko whatever, that should be my new name on Twitch. Yeah, if you want any kind of advice that I didn't quite go over here, if you want me to elaborate on anything that I did go over here but I didn't like cover it to the extent that you wanted me to, feel free to let me know. I am trying to help out every single new runner that I can. I want them to know that they do have a shot at
EarthBound Super Series, whether they think so or not. Even though I'm a little bit late to the party because people have already been doing matches and losing matches and winning matches, which, you know, it's whatever. But I don't know. It's multi-purpose. It's not just for this year's Super Series. It's for next year's Super Series, every Super Series beyond, and just for people who want to learn Glitchless as well. I'm just trying to be nice and shit. I'm trying to be cool and everything. Trying to do fun stuff, fun times, happy, fun people. Love everybody. I love you. Have a good day. Good night. Good day. Good night. Good day. Good night. Good day. Good night. Anyways, we're gonna host Temple, and I am going to go the frick to sleep because I'm so tired. So tired. So tired. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so tired. Oh man, the tired is real. It is so real. I'm coming after the Boogey world record, by the way, like low key. I didn't realize I didn't think I was gonna get a 105.31 today, but that just kind of happened out of nowhere. Feels good, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, they're racing EarthBound Rando. That's what they're doing. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good afternoon and night. Thank y'all so much. Bye. Love you.